Welcome to day 142 of the New Way. I'll read Matthew 17, 22 and 23. When they came together in Galilee, he said to them, "The Son of Man is going to be delivered into the hands of men. They will kill him, and on the third day he will be raised to life." And the disciples were filled with grief. Now I'll read Mark's version in Mark 9, 30 through 32. They left that place and passed through Galilee. Jesus did not want anyone to know where they were, because he was teaching his disciples. He said to them, "The Son of Man is going to be delivered into the hands of men. They will kill him, and after 3 days he will rise." But they did not understand what he meant, and were afraid to ask him about it. Now I'll read Luke 9, 44 and 45. Listen carefully to what I am about to tell you. The Son of Man is going to be delivered into the hands of men. But they did not understand what this meant. It was hidden from them, so that they did not grasp it, and they were afraid to ask him about it. Note that in the Matthew account, he stated that it made the disciples grieve. But Mark and Luke seem to indicate that they really didn't understand, but were afraid to admit it. There will be times in your life when you don't understand what God is doing. I remember when our 2 kids were preschoolers. We lived in New Jersey, and money was really, really tight. We believed that I should be home with the children and not working, so we were struggling to stretch our one paycheck to cover everything. We were very active in our church and serving God in numerous ways. We were praying that God would show us how to stretch our finances and how to provide for our family. Then the house we were renting burned down, and with it, just about everything we owned. I remember telling God, "I don't understand this." But when I look back on that incident now, I see that God was teaching us to trust him more and more. We saw him provide for us when we had nothing. He surrounded us with all our needs and many of our wants. We came out of that in better shape than before because our church and community were so very generous to us. I had more clothes. David had more clothes. The kids had more clothes and more toys. We had more furniture. We were actually better off financially than before. Those were things we needed to know. God took something that could have confused or destroyed our faith, but he used it to grow us and teach us to trust him with the details. He is so good. It's okay to not understand what God is doing. The key is to keep trusting him and keep your eyes on him. Here's a little miracle that Jesus performed just for Peter. I'll read Matthew 17, 24 through 27. After Jesus and his disciples arrived in Capernaum, the collectors of the 2 drachma temple tax came to Peter and asked, "Doesn't your teacher pay the temple tax?" "Yes, he does," he replied. When Peter came into the house, Jesus was the first to speak. "What do you think, Simon?" he asked. "From whom do the kings of the earth collect duty and taxes? From their own children or from others?" "From others," Peter answered. "Then the children are exempt," Jesus said to him. "But so that we may not cause offense, go to the lake and throw out your line. Take the first fish you catch. Open its mouth, and you will find a 4-drachma coin. Take it and give it to them for my tax and yours." When we see God provide what we need, it increases our confidence in Him to trust Him more. Jesus asked Peter, "Would a king tax his own kids?" I believe that Jesus was reminding Peter that he was God's son and therefore was exempt from any temple tax. But he paid it anyway to keep it from stirring up trouble. In his service, Dale.